Good evening, everybody. We've got some breaking news on this Monday evening, and not terribly unexpected, but maybe you could say at this point not terribly expected. The Seahawks have continued to slash up their defensive line from last year. They have released Al Woods, the DT slash NT, defensive tackle slash nose tackle. This move is going to save the Seahawks about $3 2/3 million in cap space, and it makes sense. Woods is about to turn 36. He's been in the league a long time. Last year, he wasn't as effective as he's been in previous seasons. Not bad, but not as effective. And he also missed a few games with an injury, and I've said for a while now that the odds are good that as he gets older, those injuries and the time he misses because of injuries is only going to expand. So this move makes a lot of sense to me. I liked Al Woods, of course. He was awesome while he was here. Did a lot of good work for this team. Did a lot of good work for this run defense. And was a valued commodity for sure. But at this stage, given Al Woods' age, given what he did last year, given where his career is likely headed, I'd rather have the $3 2/3 million in cap. So, happy trails, Al Woods. It was a fun few years with you. Yeah, you were a good player. You had a good career. It might be the end of the road for Al Woods at this point. But, yeah, not a terribly surprising move. Last year, when we made the signing of the 2-year deal, you look at the deal, it was pretty much a 1-1, with the second year only being on the table if you played really well. And if not, this is almost like our version of a void year, right? This is almost like our version of doing void years, where you have these 2-year deals with easy outs after 1 year, and then it's just like, okay, if you play really well, you can stick around, but if not, we're going to release you and take a cap hit. So, where does that leave the Seahawks in terms of the salary cap? Down Al Woods, and by the way, this means we probably need to double dip at nose tackle one way or the other, because right now we don't have one except for Monet, who's just tore his ACL. And where does this leave us cap-wise? Well, I rolled it into the current cap number. I rolled his $3.67 million into the current cap space number here. You've got the Reed hit, which we now know factually, and then the estimates of the Locke, Bush, and Love cap hits. That gets us here. You release 4 players onto the practice squad. That gets you here to about 10.1. The rookie pool cap hit gets you to about 6.8 over. You cut a bunch of low-level players, you get to 1.8 million in space, and then after the practice squad $4.3 million hit, you're at about negative $2.5 million. So as you can see, there is still work to be done, and that is with no other signings. So the work is far from over, but it's now gotten a little bit easier. As of right now, if the Seahawks decided not to sign anybody and just basically spent the rest of this offseason spending draft picks and assembling the 53-man roster and assembling their practice squad, just no Bobby Wagner, no Marquise Goodwin, no nothing. Basically just no Poona Ford, I guess. Some people are talking about Poona Ford. No anything in free agency, we would come out in the red by $2.5 million. Good news is, at this point, you could restructure Lockett, and that would get you all the way there. You could restructure Nwosu, and that would basically get you all the way there. So we're close. We are very close. And with a couple of these moves tied together, you would have enough space to bring in at least one more free agency player. Okay, so that's the news. Al Woods, so long. Happy trails. Was a fun few years, but time to move on. We saved $3 2/3 million in cap space. Hopefully we can use that well. And now we need to really attack the nose tackle position over the next several months. And it's, I'm spending a lot of time talking about nose tackle on this channel today, and I will be doing so again tomorrow. So, all the more reason to pay mind to it. Okay. Should be on Twitch pretty soon. I'm going to be back on Wolong tonight, I think. So, hope to see you there. Go Hawks. And, yep, Al Woods, happy trails.